On the morning of January 25th, a winter storm of historic scale swept across much of the United States, pushing more than 250 million people in over 40 states into dangerous weather alert zones. In a short period of time, more than 10,000 flights were canceled, hundreds of thousands of households lost power, and multiple states quietly entered emergency conditions. The system was driven by moist air surging northward from the south, while a layer of cold air remained trapped close to the ground. Under these conditions, rain does not turn into snow. Instead, it freezes on contact with surfaces, forming a clear but unusually heavy layer of ice. This type of weather is especially hazardous for trees, power lines, and transportation networks. Mississippi and Tennessee quickly became focal points of the storm. Roads and residential areas were buried under deep snow, with some locations reporting accumulations of up to 45 centimeters. Trees began to fall in large numbers, and familiar streets turned into slick traps where a single misstep could lead to serious accidents. Ice continued to build. Tree limbs snapped and collapsed onto power lines. Transformers flashed, and within minutes, entire neighborhoods were plunged into darkness. More than 850,000 electricity customers across the United States were affected, with outages stretching from the south as far west as New Mexico. Without power, heating systems failed, water supplies became unreliable, and communication was limited. In rural areas, the danger was even greater as downed power lines were hidden beneath fallen branches and ice. Many families were forced to conserve phone batteries and prepare for long, cold nights, knowing that assistance could take hours or even days to arrive. Interstate highways and local roads, crashes occurred one after another. Even though roads had been treated with salt, they quickly refroze as freezing rain continued. A thin layer of ice over compacted snow made travel extremely dangerous. Conditions in the air were no better. According to FlightAware, more than 10,200 U.S. domestic flights scheduled for January 25th were canceled. Ronald Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. suspended all flights for the day, while Delta Airlines said it would continue reducing operations depending on weather conditions. Forecasts from the National Weather Service showed that from January 25th through the morning of January 26th, heavy snow would blanket areas from the Ohio Valley into the northeast. Much of the southeast and parts of the mid-Atlantic were expected to continue seeing rain and sleet, extending slippery conditions and transportation disruptions even as precipitation began to ease. Meteorologists warned that the most dangerous phase could arrive after the storm passes. Extreme cold and hazardous wind chills were expected to spread from the southern plains into the northeast, causing melted snow and slush to rapidly refreeze into black ice. Already damaged infrastructure will become more brittle, increasing risks for repair crews. Facing the threat of widespread power outages, the U.S. Department of Energy issued an emergency order allowing backup power generation to be deployed at data centers and large facilities, particularly in Texas. Grid operators also stepped up preventive measures to avoid rolling blackouts as heating demand surged. Kentucky, Georgia, Virginia, and Alabama continued to report widespread impacts. Roads that had just been cleared were quickly coated with ice again, making travel nearly impossible. In some areas, fuel shortages began to emerge as tanker trucks were unable to safely navigate icy roads, adding pressure on residents and emergency responders. This is a form of extreme weather that does not require powerful winds to cause widespread disruption. Freezing rain, prolonged cold, and time alone are enough to paralyze infrastructure and daily life across multiple states. And as long as icy conditions persist, the risks of power outages, transportation breakdowns, and related impacts are expected to continue. If you would like to follow further developments, please leave a comment and subscribe for the latest updates.
Jump up with DJ